Hey, what's up everyone? Carlos here. In this video, what I want to talk about is how to do interest-based targeting, but take it like a step further, okay? In the last one, I kind of showed you just the basics of it. Now what I want to show you is how to do layered interest-based targeting, okay? So we can really tell Facebook this is exactly the kind of person that I'm looking for, and hopefully it'll improve your ads just that little bit more. So let's take a quick look. So here we are in the ad set level, which is where you're going to do your targeting, okay? We're in the audience section. So you're always going to be doing your targeting at the ad set level, and you can actually target based on a couple of different things, okay? So if this is your first time seeing this, you haven't seen my other video, I'll just kind of go over the basics real quick, and then we'll get into that layered interest-based targeting that I want to kind of talk about. So you can target based on a couple of different things. Obviously location, age, gender, and then these demographics, interests, and behaviors, right? And this is where it gets kind of interesting. So if you are a brick and mortar or a home service business, and we're going to be using painting for this example, then you can actually target based on your location. So if you were a brick and mortar, you know, people are going to be traveling to you. So, you know, you can go out as far of a radius as you want. So you would do like your city, and then you can do, you know, whatever radius you want. If you're brick and mortar, it's like, hey, they're coming to me, they can make as long of a drive as they want. But if you are a service business, like let's say painting, which is going to be the example we're going to use, you probably don't want to go, I don't know, any further than like an hour and a half tops, right, there and back each day. So I'm guessing you're probably going to want to do 45 minutes to an hour out, right? So I usually do like 25 miles. Okay, that's just me. But what you can also do is you can actually target based on zip codes. So if you wanted to do a zip code, you can do that as well, right? So you can see 60540, which is actually Naperville. You can target based on zip codes, okay? So, and you can do multiple zip codes. Let me see if I remember any other ones. 60516, what was that, Downers maybe? Yeah, so now I'm targeting Naperville and I'm targeting Downers, okay? So if you know like the more affluent zip codes in your area and you want to, you know, target them, you can do that. Now, if you also want to steer clear of certain areas for whatever reason, you can go ahead and also exclude those. So we can do the exact same thing. It's like, oh, I don't want to work in Naperville. Screw those Naperville people. Then you can do that, right? So please add location. Oh, we're gonna have to add. I'm gonna have to add something, I guess, before we can. So let's do. Wait, did it not do that? Exclude. You have to include at least one location. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we would just have to include. Have at least one area you want to include, and then you can exclude another. So let's just go and do that real quick. Let's do. We're going to include Downers Grove. Great. And now let's exclude Naperville. Okay, so we'll do the zip code again, right? Great. So now you can see we've got Downers Grove plus or minus 25 miles. And then we want to exclude, you know, a specific area. You can do that. So now you know that you can go ahead and do pretty specific targeting with locations, okay? So we're just gonna keep it like this. Now, when it comes to age, I find that, you know, 40 is probably the youngest for the type of service that I provide, cabinet painting. Any younger than that, I think people are really gonna be more kind of DIYers. Once you get up into this age right here, they're not really trying to do too much themselves. So I think 40 to 65 is a pretty good age range. And then when it comes to gender, this really, it just depends on how specific you want to get, right? I've obviously done projects for men, like single men, married men, but I find that most of the time for painting, you know, interior painting, cabinet painting, it's usually the women that are the ones kind of leading the project. They're the ones that want to do it, especially cabinet painting. A lot of times the husbands aren't really, they're like, the cabinets are fine. So if I really want to get dialed in, I would target women. But if I want to kind of open it up a little bit and possibly get, you know, projects from men too, just increase my volume, then I would leave it at all. But we're gonna try to get super dialed in. That's kind of the point of this one. So let's go ahead and keep it women. And this is where you can get super specific. And the better you know your avatar, okay, the better you know your ideal client, the better this will be, okay? So if we're going to use painting, again, I've said this before, married women, living in a dual income household, usually with children, professionals, like to keep up with the Joneses, like to beautify their home. They believe in, renovating their home, really want to make the house a home and just like not only keep up with trends, but also personalize their space, okay? So if I know that, then I can start thinking about what are some of the things that they're into. Now, I've actually created a ChatGPT prompt that has given me a list of all the different types of things that I think that they would be interested in, okay? I can actually give you that ChatGPT prompt if you want. Just drop it in the comments and I will send it over to you. But basically what it does is gives me a list of things, whether it's brands, influencers, retailers, that I think, or that ChatGPT thinks is going to be my ideal client. And to be honest with you, after I've reviewed it, it's pretty on point, right? Because I know what they're into, but sometimes it's nice to just get brands that I might not be aware of, but that they're actually something that my client might like. So let's go ahead and show you now this layered approach. Okay, so normally I think what a contractor or painter might do is they might put something like let's see, they might do something like HGTV. Okay, at one point I was like, okay, this is pretty next level, right? Okay, someone's interested in HGTV. Okay, but now it's like that's you're gonna see just how powerful this can get. So they might do something like that, and they might even add one more. Okay, they might say like maybe they'll do like home improvement, which isn't bad. Okay, so we would probably go with home improvement. Probably home and garden. Okay, so they might do something like that. Maybe they might pick one more thing. Okay, but what we want to do is we want to kind of layer these, and what we're going to tell Facebook is, look, I want you to find somebody who's interested in one of these things. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to pick things that are pretty, not super paint specific, but close enough that if they like this, they're most likely into painting their home, right? Or going to want to paint their home in the near future. Okay, so let's do something like, HGTV. Okay, so we'll put that one back in here. HGTV. I would probably do a show from HGTV. Okay, and there's plenty of shows you can choose from. I think that's the one with like Joanna Gaines and Chip. She's pretty popular. She's also got her own paint brand, so that could be something we tap into. So Fixer Upper HGTV, we can choose like some magazines, Home and Garden. Okay. Yep. Better Homes and Garden. Sure, why not? Retailers. Let's do Pottery Barn. Okay, these are going to be like stores where women are going to, they're going to want to shop and buy things for their home, like, little knickknacks and different decor and stuff. And while they're there, they're probably thinking, oh, well, we got to update the color of the walls or the color of the cabinets because this is not going to fit in there. Okay, we got Crate and Barrel. So again, we're just trying to like put ourselves in their shoes. What are some places that they would go to, some things that they would be thinking? So that's a pretty good start, right? I mean, I doubt most contractors are even going this far and adding this much, right? So what we're telling Facebook right now is, look, I want you to find a woman that is 40 to 65 in this area who likes one of these things. Okay, if you can find one that likes multiple, great, but at least find one that likes one of these things. Okay, now what we're going to tell Facebook is not only that, but they also must like, and now what we're going to do is we're going to get a little more specific, right? So now we're going to try to do like very specific to painting. Okay, so we would do Sherwin-Williams. Okay, Sherwin-Williams, home improvement, sure. What we would do, Benjamin Moore. Okay, retailer, yep. Farrow and Ball, I believe that's a pretty, B-A-L-L-E, Farrow and, is it just Ball? Hold on, it's a paint brand, Farrow and, here, let me just Google it real quick. Yeah, Farrow and Ball. What is this? Get out of the way. I know it's in here because I put it in here not too long ago. Farrow and Ball paint. Dude, where is it? I know it's in here. Facebook, you're making me look dumb. Just give me 1 second, guys. I know it's in here, okay? I am spelling it right. Farrow and Ball. Boom. Okay, I was gonna say, come on now. Farrow and Ball home improvement. Okay, cool. So, and then maybe let's see what are some other paint specific. Let's go back to ChatGPT. High-end popular home brands, paint and renovation. So yeah, Farrow and Ball, Annie Sloan chalk paint. Wayfair. I guess we could do Behr paint. It's probably not like, it's not like ideal, but yeah, we could do Behr paint, sure. I mean, at least you get the idea, right? So now we got these different interests. So Facebook knows, okay, find someone who likes one of these, but they also must like one of these. Okay. Now, obviously, our audience size is going to get, you know, smaller and smaller because we're basically trying to like really pinpoint this kind of person. But that's good, right? Because you don't want to spend all these marketing dollars on people that might not be interested. We're really just trying to find the people that are looking to have painting done. So it's okay if our audience size shrinks a little bit. And if that's the case, then, you know, we could always just expand this. 25 miles, I mean, that would take me all the way to Chicago. That's probably a good, like, yeah, that's like a good, especially in the morning, I don't know, 50 to an hour, hour 5. If I really wanted to expand it to like 30 miles, let's see where that takes me. Definitely don't work in Elgin. So, I mean, this isn't crazy. Audience size is still relatively the same. So I'm probably just going to keep it at 25, to be honest with you. So, okay. But yeah, obviously your audience size is going to shrink a little bit because we're getting super hyper specific. So we're going to go one more, okay? So they must also like, and this is where we're going to keep it a little bit more vague. And this is going to be more, I guess, kind of psychographic based. So it's kind of more abstract ideas than it is specific brands and stuff. So we would type in something like interior design, okay? So if they're into interior design, obviously they're looking at different, different ideas and inspiration. So let's do home decor, maybe. Decor, home ideas, publication. We can do that. Home decor, home decorating ideas, interests, 6 million to 7 million. Yeah, that'd be a good one. And let's see what else. You wouldn't want to do DIY. Let's see. Well, actually, we could see here. It's given us a couple of interior architecture, maybe furniture, home furnishings. I mean, that could be one. Modern furniture could be one. House beautiful. I would say maybe renovation or construction. If they're interested in that, they're probably looking at different types of renovations, and with that comes with all kinds of different like little just like options and things that they're looking into. I would even say You could do real estate. You're kind of stretching a little bit there. I kind of want to keep it more so related to, you know, let's type in home and see what comes up. Yeah, home improvement, Home Depot, home business, home repair. That's another. It's all kind of the similar, you know, wording. Home repair, home construction, homemaking, no. Ideal home. So let's just go ahead and pick. What do we have already? We got home decorating, renovation, interior design. What's another one? Design. Let me do interior. Home interior design, home interior design consultant, art and interior design. Actually, let's type in paint, see what comes up. Well, no, we did paint already. Yeah. Okay, so let's do one more here. Let's just do. Or actually, let's try the word house and see what comes up. Oh, you know what we could also do actually is we could even use, like let's do this instead of house. Let's do house. Okay, so House website. House is a website that is all about interior renovation, and it also provides people with contractors. Okay, so it's kind of like it's actually a lead service for contractors. They'll use that. So it'll connect homeowners with contractors. Okay, so people that are looking at House are probably looking for potential contractors, right? And you could even do like Thumbtack, right? Did I type that right? Yeah, Thumbtack website. Okay, so I think that right there is pretty good. I mean, we're really limiting our audience, right? So the more you add, the more you're going to be limiting it. But at the same time, like this is so hyper targeted that if they're into all three of these things, there's a really good chance that they're going to want to paint, if not now, in the near future. Okay, so if you don't want to get super duper, you know, tight with it, you could just eliminate one and slowly, you know, this will start climbing back up. But I think ideally the whole point of this is to show you just how dialed in you can get. Now, obviously, if you're in a really small town, you know, with a small population, you might not want to get so, you know, picky here because you want to reach as many people as possible. But if you live in a big city and you want to kind of cut out the noise and really just focus on the people that might want your service, this might be the way to go. So now you can see just how layered it can get, right? And just real quick, let me just get rid of all this stuff, right? So, and again, we're only targeting women. So honestly, if I would have put all men and women, that probably would have jumped, right? I think it was at like 35,000. If I put women and men, that might have like doubled, right? And you probably would have had like, I don't know, maybe anywhere from 60 to 100,000 people maybe to choose from. I'm not exactly sure on the number, but that's super hyper targeted, right? This age range, women with all those interests. So out of that small audience, you're probably gonna be reaching a lot of the people that you're looking for. So real quick, before I kind of end this, you know, you can also add in, you know, financial status. So if you didn't want to do the zip code thing where you find the most affluent zip codes in your area, then you can do this where it's top 10% income of certain zip codes, right? So Facebook will kind of target based on these income percentages, right, out of the area. And let's see here. You can also do, I think you can do recently moved. They used to be able to do that. There's something, yeah, recently moved. Okay. So if you play around in here, you can really get very specific, and then it's just a matter of coming up with combinations of interest and some of these, you know, demographics to to really figure out like what might be the most useful for you when it comes to targeting. I mean, if you really wanted to do job titles, you know, you can do that. Try to find people that have more distinguished job titles. If you're trying to hit like a specific, you know, higher end client. And let me see what behaviors might have. And not too much here. So yeah, hopefully that helps. I mean, I think it's probably going to be a major step up from what most, I mean, at least from the contractors that I've spoken with, a lot of them, you know, they're kind of confused with targeting. So I think this will be an absolute game changer if you haven't done any targeting. If all you're doing is really kind of just boosting posts, this can take your ads to the next level. And of course, this is just finding the right people to serve the ad to. You still need to know how to create a good ad, you know, how to create a good offer, you know, understand the basics of copywriting, you know, how to differentiate yourself from your competitors, like how to create good ad creative so that you stop people from scrolling. It's like those are all the things that are going to make the ad that much more effective. But even, you know, an okay ad served to the right person is better than a really good ad and it never touches your ideal client, right? Because it can be an amazing painting ad, but if you're sending it to people that have no use for painting, well, then it's useless, right? So I would rather have an okay ad with really good targeting than the opposite. But obviously, if you can do both, well, then that's when your ad's going to really crush it. So anyways, hopefully that was helpful. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or send me a PM, and I will do my best to answer them. And hopefully didn't confuse you too much. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.